It was when PCs were in their early stages, and my Year 6 teacher was a massive Preston North End fan, and the programme that they had on this one PC in the school was a programme where you typed the word in to the keyboard and a robot voice would be sort of, it would come out and it would say the word that you'd typed into the computer. So my teacher, thinking that he was a massive Preston North End fan, typed Wembley, Wembley, we are the famous Preston North End and we are going to Wembley. But it came out, Wembley, Wembley, we are the famous Preston North End and we are going to Wembley.
The internet brought with it email, chat rooms, forums and a whole array of new ways for people to communicate. This is the way that it would most impact society.
Yeah, earliest memory of chat rooms was going around to a friend's house and used to get us off the computers that we used to play, the games and what have you. I didn't have my own computer for a long time. It was his dad's that we used to jump on and dial it up, and then I just remember the chat rooms being just a vast of different coloured text all over the place. Everyone was trying to jump out and stand out by using different colours of text, and it was just had a standard sort of routine we used to talk about. You know, I remember typing in. We didn't really realise how vast the internet was. We used to type anyone from our local area, anyone around from Liverpool or what have you, and even though you could just spoke to anyone in the whole world, he was looking into local people anyway. And ASL, remember typing that? ASL, which meant age, sex, location. You used to have to try and find out.
ASL?
Yeah. What's your ASL? Where are you? How old are you? And then depending on that, you'd either try and get chatting or what have you. But yeah, I don't remember sending off my first email. Like I said, I do remember trying to do it through the telly once. We had Sky, I don't know what year that came in, and you could set up an email account on that, but you had to do everything using the remote, so it took literally half an hour to send an email, trying to type like in the old fashioned using the remote control instead of a keyboard. It took forever, but it wasn't until I got my first BlackBerry, I think I got when I started using email, and yeah, it was crazy just having another form of information. I think because it was free, then it started getting used more than the texting stuff, because you only got so much text off your credit that you had on your phone, and the emails were free to send, and it was just a bit of a novelty, something a bit different. But yeah, it was good. You could get a bit more information in them, which I remember. You could get more pictures, more text. We sort of went on from there.
The internet was here to stay and was changing the way we communicate as a society. In the decade that followed, the advancements were becoming fast and quick. Let's travel in time again to see what's happened next. Here we are in the noughties, the zeros, the 2000s, whatever you chose to call it. This is the decade that introduced us to social networking, MP3s, online gaming, file sharing, HD and digital television. It is also when our technology became mobile.
We only used to have 4 TV channels, and we used to have a black and white TV. And on the black and white TV was a dial that you used to turn, and there was 2 dials. There was a big one on the outside, and that'd get you there faster to find one of these 4 channels, and then the middle, the one on the inside would get you to tune in, and in between was just like acres of snow. And I remember that when my dad, he used to work away, so we didn't used to see him, but he used to get good money for it, like if you got to buy something there. Anyway, he bought us a Bang & Olufsen TV and video, which had a remote control, and it was colour, and it was amazing.
Throughout the previous decade, mobile phone technology had started to develop. In 2000, Nokia released their famous 3310 model. With that, mobile phones became exceedingly popular. With them, so did text messaging, which began to take its place as the preferred method of communication and meant that people could talk to each other consistently without having to wait for an appropriate time to make a phone call. A computer could be accessed to send an email.
So in the 2000s, do you remember your first mobile phone and what you did when you first got it?
Well, we go back further than that, I'm afraid, because I had a business, very successful business, selling exotic and thoroughbred cars and private number plates, accident repair garage, a garage racing cars, and I had different outlets throughout Lancashire and Yorkshire where I used to display these cars. And back in the 80s, I had to find a way of keeping in touch with my customers. So I invested in a mobile pager. Now, you're far too young to remember pagers, but pagers used to bleep with a phone number or a message. The one I had was from an organisation called Page Call at Blackpool, and it used to speak to me. And there was staff at Blackpool say, "Russell, there's a customer who wants to buy a car off you, or there's somebody who wants to get in touch with you." And I would go and find a phone box to ring them. This was kind of mid-80s, and a friend of mine brought over one of the big Motorola 8000 brick phones, and I said, "Can you get me one?" $4,000, lasted about half an hour, and it just changed my whole business overnight. I tell you why it changed my business overnight, because one of my early customers said, "Where do you get that from?" And I said, "Well, I put them," and said, "Can I have 10?" So in the sort of mid to late 80s, I started a mobile phone business when nobody else was doing them. And they were expensive. I got them that much smaller, but even they were £1,000 a piece. And it was on analogue, not digital service. And the airtime was like £60 a month, and it was like 60 minutes to make a call. And the phones only did one thing. You could just ring people, and that was it. No texting, cameras, nothing. So it became a big part of my life.
A year later, in 2001, Apple released their first iPod, and people could now carry their music collection with them everywhere they went. Eventually, mobile phones could double up as MP3 players. Bluetooth on such phones meant that people could share songs along with pictures and videos at a moment's notice from a device held in your pocket.